Hello there guys, and welcome back to GamersGoMakers. Okay, so this time around we're going to try what did we do? We did the hack and slash, didn't we? Which did pretty well. Why don't we go for a strategy? Let's go for a war game. A war strategy game. Actually, is there any... Oh, there is a trend. Wait there. We'll go with simulation sport. Okie dokie. Yes, so let's go with the Commodore again, because it's got the biggest market share, plus it's free to actually develop for. So, what we're going to call it? Let's call it a Shitball Manager. Yeah, 1981. In fact, 1982. Because, yeah, any types of sports game, there's always a year in front. I have no idea why, it's just the way it is. So we're going to have 2 years in front instead to make it better. Okay, so what we're going to focus on. We probably want to focus more on... Well, it is simulation sport, isn't it? Let's focus on... Now, as you might actually notice, when you make games, you do actually... When you make a new genre of game, and it gets developed and it actually gets released... depending on the reviews and stuff, you will actually get some feedback information from here. So as you can see, gameplay is very important for the hack and slash game that we did previously. Same with the game engine, and same with the graphics, and probably the same as well. Yeah. So I'm actually going to go with one sound, one graphic, one gameplay. I don't think we're going to need an awful lot of level design. Game writing, probably not. Probably sound design and content design, and maybe another engine. There we go. Let's go with that. Now it seems fairly simple at the moment, but as you unlock new categories and as you unlock new technologies, it will get gradually harder. Okie dokie. So where's football? There we go. Shitball. Well, it doesn't really need a story, does it? I'm going to go with 3K. I'm not going to translate it. It's going to have a lot of violence because football's violent. Let's go with explicit language and sexual content. I'm not talking about the pansy football that you guys in the USA play. I'm on about the ones in the UK. Or I think it's called soccer. Yeah. Right. Actually, I'm sending quite a few units at this. This is actually not that bad for a first game. I mean, the first game I did previously only did about 1,000 units, so that's not bad. And it's just gone past the halfway mark of the at the 3 months as well. So I'm looking for about 3.5 units before it gets put off the market, which is about right. About right indeed. We should get a box soon. There we go. Shitball manager. There should be a picture of a football. There we go. And of course we can change the case if we really wanted to. I'll stick it in that case. There we go. It doesn't really matter, you know. It would be nice if, depending on the picture you put at the front, it would influence the price just that little bit more. But it doesn't seem to. So it just seems like a bit of a gimme. You know what I mean? Which is a shame. Okay, so sports simulation only going for $16. Wow, that's intriguing. There are currently 3 similar games on the market, so this could actually backfire a little bit. But the only reason why there's this many similar games on the market is because it is the trend. So, yeah. But let's see if we can get this. So I'm actually gonna stick it for $15 because it might entice people more to buying it. But it's improving your skills, so this is where we need to do. We now need to improve our skills, which we should be able to do fairly soon. Yeah, there we go. Train. These are usually pretty cheap. There we go. That's going to take 10 days to train for 1,000. Okie dokie. Show the review. Okay, that's not looking good. 52%. Oh dear. Fantastic comes up with another mediocre simulation sport game for the Commodore VZ20. It's by George McFly! Right, and so we've got cool sound, varied level designs, change you in different, ow, I just smacked my knee on the desk, ways, fantastic atmosphere, bland graphics with lots of reused textures and characters, and many gameplay elements are barely explained. Yeah, okie dokie. So, that's unfortunate. That's probably going to affect the sales, I would have thought. I think the units sold is going to account for both. Yeah, it probably is. Okay. It's not selling well at all. As you can see there, it is not selling well at all. That's damn annoying. I also noticed that my microphone's a little bit louder with this, so I'll try to remember that and try and speak a bit more quietly. I'm just so used to putting my mouth right next to the microphone because it's usually not that brilliant. It's a snowball. It's a blue snowball, but it hasn't got any. It's like the older version, so it hasn't got none of the gain things or anything. Now, what I just missed there, and that was my fault. I shouldn't have skipped that. That was stupid me. Let me get to the project history. Let's see if we can get that back. We might not be able to. Oh bollocks! We're not going to be able to get that back. Shit. Well, it was like a I'll show you on the next game. It was a pie chart explaining basically with people like the amount of violence, the explicit language, and the sexual content, basically. So yeah. Okay. So that's not too bad. We can actually train a little bit more. That's probably a good idea. Get some more experience. It also I crashed. It's because I paused the game. You probably want to do that a lot though, especially when you first start, because you can't really afford to keep paying the monthly costs if you're just looking around doing stuff and figuring out what's the next. So at least we're given a decent amount of experience in all this. This is great. This is superb. I think that's it though now, so let's go with a new project. Okay. Should we go an adventure this time? Let's go for an adventure game. We'll go for the Commodore again, because why not? What should we call it? Should we call it Pirates of the Caribbean? No. Pirates of the Shitmongers. There we go. Pirates of the Shitmongers. There we go. So we go with that. And of course, it's going to be based around pirates, which we'll sort out in a bit. Okay, what would you like to focus on? For adventure games, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what. I think game writing was one of the main ones, as well as level design. Maybe the gameplay. I think I'm just going to stick it all in there. Fuck it. No, I shouldn't do that, because I'm pretty sure that the sound design is fairly important for an adventure. No, it might be content design actually. I think it's content design. It does give you a little bit of a hint actually about some of them, as you can see. Role-playing games need and simulators needed, so it might not be that. Maybe it's this adventure game. I know that's needed for an adventure game, or at least I think it does. Game writing does. Obviously, it needs decent story-ish. I might just whack in another level design actually, make it pretty decent level design, or even better, I might just stick an extra game writing in it. Let's see how that goes. It might just flop. I have no idea at this point. I can't remember. I've got a brain like a sieve. Okay, pirates. Let's give it a decent story this time. So let's spend 5k into it, and let's give it lots of violence. Not too much that's going to get banned everywhere though. Explicit language and sexual content. That's one thing you got to be careful of as well. If you put too much of one particular content in, it can get banned in a lot of countries, and that's going to affect your sales. It's really cool. Actually, it is really cool. Makes you think. Might be really nice to make all these saucy and swearing games and all that, but you know, it's gonna have a negative effect eventually. So just bear that in mind. And I can't believe that Shitball Manager is not doing that well. Maybe because it's called Shitball Manager. I never thought of that. Maybe because it's called Shitball Manager, it's doing shit. Okay, so the trend actually died out. That's still been a trend for quite a while though. So yeah, maybe the 20% trend isn't necessarily that big as I thought. You know, that huge. Development time is definitely a big help, though, as you can see. Yeah, it means you're spending less time paying bills, basically, and more time developing. Pirates of the Shitmongers with a car there. That's probably not what we want. I'm pretty sure there's a piratey icon, but I've got to find it. Ah, there we go, piratey icon. Well, not quite, but you get the drift. Okay, let's go with that. Sweet. We've got new research available to us. Vector graphics. I think we're currently still using text-based graphics, which is probably why these games aren't selling very well anyway. You know. Okie dokie. Thankfully, your users are vocal with their opinions. You've taken their content feedback and assembled a few pretty graphs. Okay, so here's the graphs. This was on a bit previously. So as you can see, I think you can change. You can't obviously at the moment because obviously we've only done it in one language. But the more languages you account for, then they will also have their own separate pie charts. I think. I actually can't remember. I'm a dumbass for not remembering that. But I think you can. We'll find out anyway. So as you can see, the amount of violence in here is pretty decent. Split language. Some people want to. There's quite a lot of people that want to see more actually, compared to any saying it's too strong. So maybe a little bit more. Violence might be a little bit less. Sexual content a little bit less as well. So yeah. But for the most part, it's fairly perfect all around. I think saying about 90% perfect is probably the best you're going to get it. I don't think you're ever going to get an 100% perfect. There's always going to be some twat who doesn't like the amount. You know, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Okay, I think I am going to go with the sound on this one, just to make my skills average well, not average, but decent all around. Okay, there's no similar game on the market, so I'm going to go with $16 for this one, and hopefully it does well. Because if it don't, then we could have a problem. Okay, Fengtastic comes with another not bad adventure game. Wow, it's actually not done that bad. The only thing that was really bad was the content design, which is kind of ironic, because that's the one I actually put off. God damn it. I wish I'd put that on. That would have actually gone higher than that, but that's still decent. That's still decent. That's still gonna sell a bit better. It's gonna sell a hell of a lot better than Shitball. So yeah, Pirates of the Shitmongers coming to stores near you this fall. Okay, let's train. Introduction to game design. Okie dokie. You've just finished your training and we've got skills. Okay, now let's focus on research. Let's get these video vectors out and up and running. Come on. Welcome to geometry with vector-based graphics. Indeed. Right, let's crack on to our next one straight away, shall we? So, let's go for. Looks like we've actually opened up a few more games now. By the look of it, we've got a. Hang on. Let's see what else we got. Okay, let's try a strategy game. Let's go with a war. The Atapi has actually gone up in market share, but I don't have enough for the license costs, so it's pointless. Okay, develop a cool strategy war game. And there's actually current trend for hack and slash. That's literally just come up a day ago. I'm debating whether to go back to the hack and slash and make a second better one. I think we will. Is there a trend for a particular... Well, there was a strong trend for samurai games, but that was quite a while back, so that's going to die out soon. Okay. What should we call it? There's actually a randomizer as well. Sort of Rise of the Unreal, Heroes, Office, Treasure Vaults, Lucky Phantom, The Big Avenger. You'll notice that some of these words don't have like capitals where they should. I believe that's to get by copyright issues. But there are some obvious typos even there, which is kind of weird. Which I'm assuming is not for copyright reasons. Red Mist, you know what? Let's go with that. Red Mist. And we'll go with vector-based graphics. You've already done an action hack and slash RPG, so this is going to be a bit easy to actually try and think. It does show you your best game that you've done in this particular genre and what you actually toggled, which is really nice. So we can probably go with the same again, but I'm trying to remember what the other what it was that was bad about it. Now this is the one thing that I'm not happy about. How the UI can sometimes be presented. Now I can't move this to the side or anything. What I wanted to do is I want to check the review of Diablo, and what I want to do is I want to check to see what was what was missing. Now obviously I could just right click and just see here anyway, but I want to see what was needed by how much really. So that's just unfortunate that we haven't got that option. So I'm going to knock one off gameplay. I'm going to stick one on level design. It looks like everything else is needed for hack and slash. Maybe the sound isn't. No, the sound is pretty important. Okay, we'll go with that. That should be pretty handy dandy. We're still going to need some content design and game writing now. We can't just literally just not put anything in. There still needs to be some sort of stuff in there. Okay, you've already done an action hack and slash game. Yes, we know. Strong turns for Samurai. I mean, I could select it now and see if we can get it in time, but there's probably already a load of action hack and slash with Samurai in it, so it's probably pointless. Let me go for something a bit different. Maybe Wild West. That'd be pretty cool. Let's go with the Wild West, and let's go for a 5k story budget. We're going to have lots of violence, lots of explicit language. Oh, okay. So, because we've made the game before, it actually shows us basically in red if we have too much explicit language, for example. So, if we go further down, you'll notice that it will probably start turning, yeah, we are, so green. So, try and get this as close to the red line as possible, and that will probably guarantee that 90% or over 90% of people liking the game. No sexual content again. If we just go back, there we go. So obviously people don't really want that much sexual content, but people love violence. People really love violence in these types of games. So these types of games. So there we go. Okay, so this is our outgoings. Now I don't really actually look at this very much, and this is just giving you a breakdown of the cash flow and stuff, which is actually really nice to see. But yeah. Now I'll tell you what. This can be annoying sometimes. As you can see, it shows you the sales figures as well as how much the costs. If this was kind of broken down into one huge chunk, so you can see how much the game's made rather than how much it's made over that particular interval, would be a bit nicer. But nonetheless, it's still nice to be able to see it in this depth. Really nice. It's something you don't get in Game Dev Tycoon, which you do get here. Really nice how it's displayed. Okay, it's selling 1,500 units. That's superb. That is really superb. That'll probably get to about 2,500, I think. Yeah, around about that much. Obviously, when the game first comes out, it usually gets more sales, and then obviously, as it goes through the months, it'll eventually die down. But it actually seems to be picking up again. That's actually really superb. Sweet. We have got new research available. This is actually really nice. I know some people don't like how this is set out, but I kind of like it. It does give you a nice quick news bulletin about what's going on and what you can do, which is really nice to have. It really is. But it is a bit clunky sometimes, especially when there's a lot going on and you've missed off it. And I don't think there's any way you can actually check, see if you can go back on previous articles, which is unfortunate. Like Red Mist is a hack and slash. Oh, there we go. We'll go with that. It's actually in the Wild West, so maybe we should get the cowboy one. There is a cowboy one. Where is he? There he is. Well, yeah, I suppose it is a cowboy one, kind of. There we go. Sweet. I think having the box have more an impact on sales is pretty cool as well. Now, obviously we're running at a small chunk of the game here, and it probably will take a while before we actually set off. I mean, actually make big money before we can actually get new rooms and new apartments. But you can get separate rooms that do separate things, and marketing and PR are one of them. The marketing is pretty useful because it shows you basically market shares and stuff like that, which is really nice to see. But there's stuff there you'd expect to be there, but that's not there. Like, for example, making better boxes to try and get your products sold even better. There's nothing like that there, unfortunately, which is a letdown. So as you can see, violence, people still kind of want more violence, but then there's some people that don't really like it. As you can see, 89%. As I said, you're usually looking to get 95% half the time, so I'm really surprised that that's done really well. Like, and actually people want more language, which is kind of funky. Okay, there are 2 similar games on the market. One of them is my own. So yeah, we're gonna go with $19. That should be okay. And then we got a choice for magazine ads. Now this will increase our sales. It doesn't tell you by how much, unfortunately. I don't think the marketing department actually tells you by how much either, which is unfortunate again. And it's mediocre. Bollocks. We don't focus on graphics. I could have sworn we put 3 on graphics. But either way, it still depends on like how good you are, you know, being able to develop the game. So, you know, it's not just click it and it's gonna be okay. You know, I'll put 3 into graphics. It'll be okay. No, it doesn't quite work like that. It just means you're gonna focus more on that particular thing. It doesn't mean that you're very good at making graphics. It just means you're gonna focus more on the graphics. So yeah. So fast-paced music fuels the on-screen action. Sweet. Great dialogue and quest. Got a bit too much saliva. Quest writing and some design quirks lead to minor frustrations, and character movement and aiming feels dated. That's a shame. But as you can see, well, at least it's selling better than. No, I think it's actually selling worse than Shitball. Oh dear, that could be a problem. Anyway, let's do some research. Now we're still stuck on the. Wow, we can't afford that. That's 25k. We still haven't found the sweet spot game yet. So that's something we really need to try and get done. We really need to try and find a game where we can really get the sweet spot. Okay, space flight racing. Let's do an adventure game. I have done an adventure game before, haven't I? Let's try something different. Let's go for racing. Let's go for racing simulator. Okay, so there's quite a. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. There's 25% on all of them, so let's go with that. Okay, so let's call it Granny Turismo. There we go. Granny Turismo. Brilliant. Great simulator game. With voxel graphics. Well, vector graphics, not voxel. Right, we need gameplay. Oh yeah, we haven't actually done this yet, have we? Game engine, graphics, sound design. I don't know if we're going to need level design, but we'll go with level design as well. Yeah, that should be fine. Okie dokie. Project targeting. We're going to target. This is going to be, I suppose, Rally, I guess. Granny Turismo. There's not modern times, which is kind of weird. Let's just go with Rally. We could do robots. Robot racing. Actually, there's no robot racing. That's a shame. Let's go for. Actually, I'm only going to go for 3k. There doesn't really need to be a story that much for this, so it's not really bothered about that. Let's go with a little bit of sexual content, with a bit more violence and explicit language. This seems to be roughly the kind of angle that most games enjoy. I don't think the game can distinguish though when you want to try and make a romantic game, or you know, something like that, or maybe something like an age game or something soft like that. But you know, I suppose it's to be expected, I guess. New training is available for Fengferth. Great, we'll sort that out in a bit. Hopefully it's not too much. And we are losing money. Yay! Go Feng. Bollocks. See, now if there wasn't that 2k costs, well, it's actually 4k, but obviously the 4k costs each month, then we'd actually be making money at the moment, but we're actually losing money because of just that 2k cost, which is hilarious. We need a car. I'm pretty sure there's a car somewhere. Come on, where's the car? Actually, yeah, we've got the steering wheel. That'll be fine. There we go. Sweet. Granny Turismo. Wow, look how many units we've sold, and it's already in its third month, and we haven't even sold 1,000 units for that game. That is really dire. And now we finally got some reputation for the VZ20. Shame it's going to come off the market soon. Probably shouldn't have said that, but never mind. So yeah, you can actually get better at programming with a particular console, which is really nice. And what that also means as well is that you usually get more rep with that particular console, so your games are more likely to sell, and it's also easy for you to make. So it's actually a really cool design, that is. Okay. So average price $18. Let's go for magazine ads as well. There's only one similar game on the market. I think we'll go rate. I don't agree. I don't want to be greedy this time. Let's just see how well it sells first. Oh, please tell me it's good. You bastard! Apparently graphics and gameplay were terrible. Cool sound, clever, imaginative course design, beautiful varied interpretations of a minimalistic vibe. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say video. That's what I mean by the some of the typo mistakes. It's usually just on the reviews as well, which is kind of hilarious. Maybe it's intentional. You know, some of these people might not be able to spell properly. You know, it's it's pretty cool. It is. In fact, that actually reminds me. The last time I played this, I think back in 1982. There was a company called Epic Fail Games, and they made a 98% game. A Metacritic score game, which is kind of ironic. Epic fail my arse. Okay, so that looks... It's doing better than Ben Mist, so that's good. At least I'm gaining money. We've actually got a bit of money now. But I'm going to train rather than research. I'd rather train and get more better at it rather than research and learn more stuff. Getting the training is a lot more better in my opinion. There we go. And design and development. Sweet. Come on. Okay, then we stopped the market. We made a profit of 12k. It's not a lot. In fact, that's probably not bad at all. But as you can see, we've actually got a 96 one there. That's rare. That is rare to get a 96% of the pie. Wow. People didn't like the people wanted more explicit language. That's interesting. Okay. They wanted to say bastard a few more times. Brilliant. Okay, so we finished more training. Have we got any more training to do? No, just research. Actually, we can probably afford... I can do the user interface. Now, user interface, this will actually unlock one of the new things you can actually design when you're doing a game. So, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But the thing is to remember is that I don't think you gain any extra points to spend on when you unlock these, so it can get pretty difficult, especially if you don't know what the hell you're doing. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy that because we might get bankrupt if we do. If this next project don't sell. So let's go for, we've done an adventure game, let's go for a shoot 'em up. And I'm going to put a cut in here because again I can't see how long these bloody videos are. So I'll see you next time.